From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Well, hello and welcome into OpenLine. I'm Chuck Long, going to be with you for the full hour tonight. Glad that you're here with us on OpenLine, welcoming Pastor Brian Curry from Holy Trinity Community Church. We've got a great topic for you tonight, and as always, you know, OpenLine is your forum. Tonight, we're going to be talking about welcoming and affirming churches. Now, religion and spirituality in the LGBTQ community continue to make headlines almost, as Brian knows, on a daily basis, from the Catholic Church to the Baptist Church, from the Methodist Church to the United Church of Christ. Religion is a campaign issue as well. So we're going to be talking about a lot of these and understanding what a welcoming and affirming church is. Because you are, Brian, the pastor at Holy Trinity Community Church, right, which is a welcoming and affirming church.
Very much so.
So for our viewers that are tuning in right now, tell us straight off the bat, what is a welcoming and affirming church?
Well, you know, those two words come in tandem a lot, but they don't necessarily fit together. You know, there are lots of churches that are welcoming churches to the LGBTQIA community, and that means that they welcome that community into the church doors and love having us sitting in the pews and worshiping alongside and making that community feel very welcome. Affirming is another step in the process, though. An affirming church is one that says you're not only welcome to come in and worship here, but you're also expected and welcomed and wanted to serve in all ministries and places in the church. So it's not just you can sit in the pew and worship, but we would also like you to be an elder or a deacon or minister to our children or teach a Sunday school class or do all of the things that every member of the church is welcome to do.
Well, and you know, as far as a welcoming and affirming church, I know some people, it's a hot button issue because there are times where people are saying, well, it's okay, you know, to welcome everybody at church, but you can't necessarily serve in a leadership position, or you can't, you know, lead a group, that kind of thing. So what do you say to that?
Well, you know, we do hear that question quite often. And, you know, if you're a part of the LGBT community, it seems like a really obvious answer, and the answer is why not? Why would that community not be welcome to serve in every ministry of the church? And I think when those conversations come up with people who have the questions of why should we let you serve in those positions, really it's just a matter of getting to know people and letting them know that this community is not a threat to anyone. A lot of times it comes down to a theological difference, and church members don't know the theology of an LGBTQIA member. Right. And it just comes down to helping people understand that every person in your church has different theology about something. None of us agree 100% about anything. And so if we're looking for a church that's completely homogeneous, where everyone is completely the same and believes exactly the same thing, well, we're never going to achieve that. Right. And so diversity is really the only way forward for us to really rub up against each other and learn new things from each other. And why would we not want our LGBTQIA friends to be part of that?
Yeah, that's a great point. Now I want to get a little bit of your background. So what is your church background? Because I know, you know, in society today, a lot of people who come out, they grew up in churches that they weren't accepted, or they weren't accepted. So tell me about your church background.
Yeah, we bounce around sometimes.
Yes.
Well, currently I serve at a United Church of Christ, which is a very welcoming and affirming congregation, denomination. I was raised in the Southern Baptist Church, went to a private Southern Baptist college, went to a Southern Baptist seminary, ministered in the Southern Baptist Church for a decade and a half. So I have deep roots in the SBC, as we would call it.
Did you feel, Shonda, growing up, did you feel like you needed another place to go?
You know, when I was in my growing up process, I really hadn't come to terms with my sexuality, and so that piece of me wasn't yet bumping up against my spirituality. So I didn't feel that tension in the same way that a lot of people feel that tension. I was also very fortunate to be raised in a family and in a few specific congregations where I felt very free to explore my theology and read what I wanted to read and think what I wanted to think, and that really helped me a lot in my process. Again, a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
And so for those people, I encourage them that your spirituality it's your spirituality, it's not your church's. So feel free to ask questions, feel free to read dangerous books and think what you think might be dangerous thoughts, and finances for yourself. Let those bounce off of your church, but at the end of the day, it's yours. It's not anybody else's.
That's a great point. We are going to go to the lines right now, and as always on Open Line, this is your forum. So if you have questions, if you have comments, just give us a call, 615-737-7587. We're going to the lines right now. Mike is on with us. Mike, good evening, and do you have a question or a comment for Pastor Brian?
Yes, sir. I'd like to comment to Pastor Brian. Hi, my name is Mike Moran, and I work with a church called Mission 615 in Nashville on 31st Street, and we work with the homeless, and I understand that you guys work with the homeless. They tell us that they come down to your guys' church, and I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing, and maybe if you get a chance to come down on Charlotte there, we're there every Saturday, and we bring them in and feed them, and we're actually trying to believe for a much bigger where we can house them and help them get jobs. And I just want to say appreciate all the hard work you're doing, and if you get a chance, maybe come down and see what we're doing. Maybe we can team up and knock out no more hunger in Nashville. And I hang up, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for that comment. We're all in this thing together, and the homeless community needs as many of us to chip in as we can.
Absolutely. We're going to go right back to the lines right now. I think Gay is on the line with us. Gay, do you have a question or a comment for Brian?
Yes,
Jay,
I do.
Jay.
I have a sister, and she's gay, and her and her partner are moving to Nashville from Mobile, Alabama. And this is just interesting because we was talking about this the other night about churches and things. And of course, I grew up Methodist, and she was looking for a place to worship when she got to Nashville. And I was just wondering, do y'all have like youth programs? Because her partner is a basketball coach, and she's very good with youth. And I just want to know more information about it so I can tell her. Thanks.
Jay, that's a great question. We do have both a children's program and a youth program. We would love to have your sister and her partner and their kids come out, and we can always use more help with our kids and our youth. So you tell her to come on out to Holy Trinity.
Absolutely. And, and when Mike was talking a little bit about the homeless, I know Holy Trinity also has a Room in the Inn.
We do.
Tell us about that.
We partner with Room in the Inn, which is a program that serves our entire city, and there are churches all over the city who work with Room at the Inn, which is connected with the Campus for Human Development downtown. It's a great program. Almost every night of the week during the winter, Room at the Inn will partner with churches and have our homeless friends come in and stay a night in a church just so they have a warm place to stay and a roof over their head. Church is responsible for feeding those folks, for socializing with them, for giving them a safe place to stay. In the morning, we give them more food and something for lunch, and then help them get back to the Campus for Human Development so they can go about their business. And we do that during the winter. Every single week we have those folks in our church, and it's for a lot of our folks, it's one of their favorite things about being a part of Holy Trinity, because they enjoy having those folks in. We have ladies who come to our church specifically, and having the ladies in and sitting with them and sharing a meal and hanging out and telling stories and watching movies and doing all those things that you do with your friends. And we have a lot of folks in our church who've made some really special friendships with people that they keep up with because of that ministry. So
and one of the things, because I go to Holy Trinity, obviously we know each other, and one of the things that's so impressive about Room in the Inn, the way Holy Trinity does it, and I don't know how others do it, I know it's a great program and a lot of great churches are participating in it, but Holy Trinity, it is on, fine china. It's in,
right.
It's not second class.
That's
it is
right.
first class all the way, and that's
right.
That's such a commendable thing.
we put tablecloths on the table.
Absolutely do.
Eat better there than we do in my house sometimes.
Which is great. That really is. It is. Now, kind of tell us again, for the folks just tuning in, we're talking about welcoming and affirming churches. Brian Curry is the pastor at Holy Trinity Community Church, which is a welcoming and affirming church. What is the congregation breakdown at Holy Trinity?
What do you mean by breakdown,
So,
Chuck?
is it predominantly gay? Is it, or do straight couples go? Do families go? I mean, kind of tell us that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Lots of people have the perception that an LGBT church is going to be 100% LGBT, that we have come into this place and we're all just doing our thing, just our community, and that's really not the case. At Holy Trinity, we are predominantly LGBT. At our last census, we were right about 80% LGBT, so we are predominantly part of that community. However, we have some really, really great friends there, some straight allies who come and worship with us. Just because it's a great place to be. And part of what that reminds us in our community is that coming to church is not really about our sexual orientation. That's not the reason that we come there. We come there to worship, we come there to learn, we come there to find support, we come there to find encouragement, and we can do that with with anybody. And for those of us who do identify as LGBT, we need our straight friends, and our straight friends need us, and so we all need to be in that space together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great place and great way to put it. We are going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we will continue talking about welcoming and affirming churches. As always, if you have questions and comments, just give us a call at 737-7587, and we'll be right back after this.